YouTube.
Tapes rolling.
All right,
gents.
Now then.
How are you?
good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Good week.
Not bad. Yourself?
Yeah. Sound.
Weather's nice. Sun's out.
It's like fucking Lando won. Up the
Lando won.
Lando won a fucking race.
Up the McLarens.
Hang on, didn't I say in a previous episode
Oh, you might have done. You might have said.
that Lando was going to win a race?
I think you called
I think
out
you did,
Lando
mate,
for
yeah.
China.
I think you did. I can't remember which one.
I mean, I
think it-
wasn't fucking far off.
Yeah, I
like,
know,
was
but I think it was pre-China. Yeah. Fucking go on, kid.
fucking pat myself on the back for that. Do like.
Right,
Yeah,
well,
Miami, still shit.
I like
it
the
was
last
a
sector.
was a crap race.
It's so shit. The track is shit. The setting is shit.
But it sounded you
Ferrari's
there.
livery was shit.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
It was fucking crap.
Everything else they did, like the uniforms and everything, was fucking mint. But they should just painted the car.
Like all of the leaked deliveries where it was all sky blue looked unbelievable. And then for them to come out and just go, yeah, like the wheels are blue.
Got a big HP logo on
And there's a big
Yeah.
HP logo on it and like some of the wings blue. Just like,
Which I think of like the last 4 years, just completely off the cuff. What's your favourite limited edition?
the Gulf livery by McLaren.
That was pretty mint, like, wasn't it?
Like 100%, I think that is the only one really.
I like the Elvis Vegas one that Red Bull did.
What, the white and gold?
Yeah, with this.
Yeah, like
One was white and gold, and then no, they had like separate coloured suits on, didn't they? Like Max was white and Checo was red or whatever. So
I think mine's was it when we went to Imola over COVID and Ferrari did that like really dark maroon
like
thing.
the old school.
Yeah,
Ferrari.
and then the racing suits were like retro and stuff. That was pretty wicked.
Yeah, like that was wicked. I just don't understand why they can't have these liveries just as standard.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, why do they have to be?
It's this it's this bollocks about like colour on weight in it. Like, have you heard that?
Yeah, but like,
what, like different paints?
There was like all them memes kicking around on Twitter.
Carbon fibre.
Carbon fibre,
Carbon
fibre,
fibre, yeah,
carbon fibre.
They're all black, aren't they? And
Yeah, but like, it also doesn't make any sense for them to do that or for them to turn around and say that that's a reason. Because then you just wouldn't do a special livery, would you?
no.
And surely paint weighs paint. Like, the colour isn't going to make that much of a difference.
Well, I don't know, because some paints you'll have to have.
If you've got like metallic flake and stuff in them, but like
primer and all that sort of stuff. Like, I'm not a paint engineer.
paint engineer,
I'm sure that there'll be a paint engineer.
there must be.
If
On
there's
like
anybody watching that's a paint engineer or knows a paint engineer, please get in touch.
do you reckon
because
that's an actual job title in
I'm
F1 garage?
convinced.
we
I'm
Google it?
convinced that is
A paint engineer.
paint engineer
Paint engineer jobs.
with a capital P.
Just search paint engineer F1.
Painting and fabric engineer.
There you go.
Indeed has 100+ paint engineer
There
jobs.
you go.
Where though? It's not like someone at Dulux who's just mixing them together, is it? At B&Q. So what do you
No, I
do? I'm
think
a
it's
paint
like-
engineer. Where'd you work? Oh, just B&Q.
Thank you.
Indeed's chatting shitty. It's proper clickbait. I've gone into it and it's like multi-skilled engineer.
No.
Maybe paint's part of that.
Yeah, paint engineer.
Painting and fabric.
Anyway,
That's a
going
thing.
back to your original question.
Yeah.
For me, the McLaren
The Gulf one.
because it's classic. The colours pop. It looks fucking mint. Yeah, just have that. Just have it all the time.
So, moving on, going back to what they're called, like guesstimations, predictions. You predicted that Lando would win.
Would win a race. I can't remember whether it was if I'd said this season or like a certain race.
You might recall that in January I said that Adrian Newy was going to leave Red Bull and go to Ferrari.
Yeah, but that hasn't happened yet.
It's very much looking so, though, isn't it?
Do
Do we think? That's all I was going to say is, one, since we last got together, Adrian Newy has officially resigned.
Yeah, he is
And
departing
he's-
Red Bull.
He is departing Red Bull. So
Which
we are
is-
one step closer to the prediction. But I'm still standing by Ferrari. Do you have an opinion? Whether it's retire or team or...
I wouldn't be surprised if it was just retire. In all honesty, like I think it's not like he has anything else to prove.
No.
Like he's the GOAT. So the only thing I can think of is if he's been talking to a team and they've got like plans that he's like, that's interesting for 2026.
For all we know, it could be a different form of motorsport.
Could be.
If he said, I want a different challenge, or I want a new challenge, it could be Formula E, it could be Rallycross, it could be the Dakar, it could be IndyCar, it could be anything. Like, we just have no idea. If it's within Formula One, my prediction for within Formula One is Sauber, which will turn into Audi. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I can't see him going to a team that's already good. So that kind of discounts, like, I don't think McLaren or Ferrari are in there. I think if he goes to an F1 team, it's going to be a team where he can, like, affect the change. So, like, he can come in and design them a car that's going to make him jump 3 places in the constructors or something. So that's why I was thinking, like, when it was all the rumours about Aston Martin, he just put his design skills at Aston Martin and then see if he can build him a rocket ship or not.
That's kind of the reason why I think it's going to be Audi. Because
he's got a blank slate at Audi as well.
He's got a blank slate. Like, that's when the new regulations come in.
Yeah.
If Sauber are basically just going to go, 2025 is going to be kick, it's going to be this, these are our drivers, it's not going to be something that could win a Constructors' Championship or a Drivers' Championship, we might end up with no points. If we're not doing any of the upgrades or whatever, we're going to purely focus on Audi taking over 2026, fresh start for the team. Hopefully it's called Sauber. It won't be. It'll be Audi Motorsport F1 team cash app.
But
House plant B&Q.
I think Craig Slater from Sky reported that he met with a Ferrari rep in London the other week. So there was rumours going around saying it was Fred Vestiaire.
Yeah, but that could be just like two lads having a fucking drink.
He's always
buying
going
a car.
Yeah, it could be just buying a car. Like, I saw something as well the other week where earlier on last year he'd said that he'd just bought a new yacht.
Right.
And that he wanted to go travelling around the world with his wife on his new yacht. So it could just be
retirement.
And if it is
fair play,
that kind of makes the sport.
How old is he?
Really interesting.
65.
It's a year off retirement.
So a year off retirement.
I googled that the other day. That's why I know, because my dad was on about it.
So if you're 65, you've done everything in the sport. You've won countless world championships. You've created fucking rocket ships out of nothing.
He must be sat there looking at Williams in a way and thinking, I'd love to make that car mint. Especially given that, like, I think that was his way into Formula One.
So I've not read his book, but you have, haven't you? And
yeah.
What's his attitude like towards it? Is he the kind of guy that would be like, I can fix her? Or is he like...
He's not overly driven by money in the book. Obviously, it came out a while ago, so I don't know if anything's changed. Yeah. He obviously wants to be values, and money's a way of doing that.
Yeah.
But he's more bothered about winning. So I feel like he's going to go... It's like an in-between. This is why I feel like Ferrari's pretty good, because Ferrari aren't at this point, they aren't at the point where they can win, but they have potential. And also in the book, he turned down Ferrari for Red Bull, I think. Something like that. He turned Ferrari down on a couple of occasions, and I think that much like Hamilton saying, I want to go to Ferrari because I never will, like, this is my, like, last opportunity. I feel like he might be in a similar position where he's thinking, I want to go there. I've got a driver here that's lost out on world championships for the last few years. There's the challenge. Like, can I bring this? Can I take this to the next level for them? But at the same time, like, they're going to go into a new set of regulations, and like it is just anyone's game then, isn't it?
But who's to say he goes in as a design engineer? Who says he's not going in as a team principal?
Well, he's a technical director, isn't he?
He's a technical director for Red Bull, but what's to say he hasn't been offered the team principal job for Audi or for another team?
No, I don't think he'd do that. He was he's CTO at Red Bull now, but in the book, the reason why he changed to CTO is because he wanted to do more than F1. So he started developing the hypercar shit. And that's why it ended up becoming CTO. It was like less involvement. So this is the thing, like, yes, he's obviously really clever and very good, but like he's not designing the whole car.
Yeah.
He's making contributions to it. So they've obviously got like a really good.
Well, he'll be signing off on direction and being like, he'll be like, yeah, I'm happy with you to go down it with this philosophy of how you're going to approach the physics. And then crack on with it.
I don't know if he has the final say. There's like someone beneath him. I don't know. Obviously, we don't work there, do we?
Retirement.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think 2026 is just going to be off it in general. Like, if because Lando previously has said, like, I'm not going anywhere because what they're promising for 2026 is mad. So I think there's this season there'll be teams that they're already thinking about 2026. I'd be like Red Bull's 2026 car is probably Adrian Newy's car anyway at this point.
Well,
like I bet the
Yes.
team who've built this car will have already agreed on the 2026 car.
No, because they're always 1 year ahead. So his car will be the one he's worked on now.
No, but they'll be able to they'll have had meetings about as soon as the regs got announced. They'll have been like, "Oh right, how are we going to do
I
this?"
suppose, yeah.
It's not like.
But they can't be putting it in a wind tunnel and shit. Yeah.
No, but they'll have like agreed on how they're going to approach it by now.
I think it's going to be very interesting because, you know, we've still got a lot of seats to be decided.
Yeah, there's only about 8 that have been confirmed or something.
Imagine being Ford, by the way, now. So you've like think about it. Like Ford have gone in as engine partners for that new era.
Yeah.
Horner's been horny, and Newy, who's pretty much like the key assets, gone by the time they come in. I'm amazed they haven't fucking withdrawn.
Well, who says that they won't?
You would have thought they'd have done it by now.
Well, you don't know, dear. But just going back to my previous point, we've got a lot of drivers that haven't got seats for next year or contracts for next year. And with these new regs coming in 2026, I think that we can expect a lot of 1 year extensions.
Yeah.
Through people. Like, we've got Hulkenberg that's announced for Audi. So is that from next year?
Yes. So he's from Sauber.
So he's going to Sauber next season.
Yes.
So that obviously opens up a seat for Haas. So is that going to be Behrman?
I think so.
I think that makes sense. Does Magnussen stay on for another year? Because his contract's up at the end of the season.
If he still has a license, maybe.
If, you know, obviously this weekend with all the penalties and everything like that, you know, he said it was playing the team game and everything, which is fair enough.
I'm going to look at that because I want to see how, like...
Are Haas still going to be a team? Apparently there's rumours that Gene Haas is getting a little bit sick of it.
But they're doing really well this year. Like, if I dig out the constructors here, results. So yeah, Haas 7th. So they're beating Sauber, Williams, and Alpine.
But Alpine have built a snail.
They have, to be fair. But gosh, as if Williams haven't scored a point yet.
Yeah, it's mad. Does Sargent stay on? Does Alex stay there?
What do you think about that proposal for the extra points?
Is that the one where they were saying...
For the sprints?
No, where like you get points down to 12th now. So the midfield, it's more visible how the midfield are doing, because at the moment it's just you can't really tell who's the shittest team.
I think it's.
I think it's a good.
I like it because especially if we're just going to keep having one dominant team all the time, I think it's going to open up like that, like you say, the middle pack. But it'll make the Constructors' Championship a bit more interesting, I think.
I think they've kind of realised that we could be going back to a Lewis Hamilton, Michael Schumacher era of dominant. Yeah, like obviously, I know we've just watched Lando win a race, but like that's one race over an entire season.
Yeah, but if they've got the right formula, what's to say it's not McLaren next year?
Oh well,
do you know what I mean? Like
well,
if it's just
exactly.
going
what's to say it's not McLaren next race? Like
yeah,
thing,
exactly.
Like
you know, like in theory, Lando could still win the championship.
These upgrades might just have been off it.
And we know what upgrades that McLaren can do from what happened last year, where at the start of last season they were nowhere.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Piastri and Lando are finishing on the podium and in the top 6 on the regular.
Yeah.
But there's going to be so many different changes in terms of contracts and team changes and God knows what, that I think that there's going to be a lot to talk about come the summer break, definitely. Because that's when silly season starts, basically.
Yeah, that's when it officially starts. They kind of jumped the gun a little bit with Hamilton this year.
Yeah, but he's
when
arguably
he's
the biggest name on the grid, isn't he?
Yeah, like
You know, you've got him and Max, which are two just off the chart names.
I'd say Max is still. I think Lewis Hamilton's like transcendent of the sport.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Max is like, if you know what the crack is with F1, you know who Max is. But like everyone knows who Lewis Hamilton is.
Every single media outlet is talking about Lewis Hamilton going to another team. 70% of the media outlets are talking about Max Verstappen.
Which it's like you got to look at it like in 200 years, people will be talking. Or people will probably know who Lewis Hamilton is just from his impact on culture.
Oh well, it'll be like Senna level, won't he? Like
Whereas like if Max just wins like 4, like we've had other people like Prost won 3.
Yeah.
Who the fuck's nobody knows who Alan Prost is, who doesn't like F1.
And what's he called?
Like
well, no one talks about Vettel.
No one talks
That's
about
who I
Fangio
was
or
thinking of,
Vettel. Like exactly, that's what I'm saying. Whereas like Lewis Hamilton's like a dynasty of a human.
Yeah. I do
He's
think
like
that
Tom Brady level or like Michael Jordan.
Yeah, like obviously in the earlier days of Lewis Hamilton as well, you know, obviously who he was, you know, at one point he was dating Nicole Scherzinger.
Yeah. Then
And,
Shakira.
Like, and then at one point she was like the biggest thing on the planet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Pussycat Dolls, X Factor, all of that sort of stuff. And then it was Shakira, and you know, with the fashion and with the sponsorships and everything, like,
And he's
of course,
only 37.
yeah,
Like, I think...
Well, when you look at Alonso, he's 45 now.
No, but I'm saying, like, if, like, Hamilton's going to get his fingers in a lot of... Hamilton's going to be, like, the English Rock.
yeah.
But I think Hamilton's going to be, like, big into, like, production. And, like...
Yeah, well, we've
he's
got that
definitely
movie with Brad Pitt, haven't we?
He's definitely buying a football team at some point, because he's already tried to buy Chelsea or something. hasn't he?
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be, like, the Rock big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see that Will Ferrell's invested in Leeds United?
Jesus Christ.
Has he?
Yeah,
Remember
apparently he's bought like a really big stake in Leeds United.
Remember that story where he was coming to see his son? Was like his son goes to uni in Liverpool or whatever, and rather than booking like a fancy hotel, he just like booked a spare room on Airbnb and like just stayed at some woman's house for like a fortnight and like and then he went and like DJ'd all like the uni parties and that, didn't he? Like,
Right, just class.
Off it that.
Proper good.
So next race.
off at that.
Next race is
Canada?
It is Imola.
Imola.
17th.
Always a tough one.
May. Yep.
Always a tough one.
Yes.
And the branch from that, just a tad. 30th anniversary of Senna dying the other day.
Yep, it was. And then wasn't there a summit, like a Netflix announcement or something?
Yeah, they're doing like a mini series about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
going to be brutal.
Yeah, that's
honestly,
gonna
you
be
lads
brutal.
need to read. Like,
Do you? It
either
looked a bit shit.
What?
the thing he did.
The senator thing, like it looked a bit. The trailer they released, it looked a bit poo. Like it. My worry about the Netflix thing is they're not going to give it enough money to do it the justice it should have done.
The Senna documentary.
Yeah, the Senna documentary
is unbelievable.
Is mint, but the mini series thing they're doing, I'm worried that like it's not going to be.
Well, I think that's the problem, and that's the worry with a lot of things Netflix.
Well, it's because like they have to make it appeal to the masses, don't they? So it's just it'll probably have like proper stupid Hollywood shit in it.
Yeah.
Like the crash will probably be awful. It's going to be awful anyway, but you know what I mean? Like it'll.
Yeah, I mean Ferrari was awful.
Yeah.
I've not seen Ferrari.
Oh,
but
I've not
shocking.
seen it, but I've seen a clip, and there's that bit where the car like takes off.
Yeah,
then
and flies into a telephone pole and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And
you
like
could
just-
do it
it
right though,
looks
because Le
awful.
Mans is phenomenal.
Yeah,
Or Ford versus Ferrari, depending what country you're in.
And Rush was good.
Russia's mint.
Rush is great. Yeah,
Like,
but we're talking again about films that have very different budgets.
No, but this is what I'm saying. Netflix, because
Not short of a few pennies. are
and
they?
Drive to Survive's like their thing. You'd think that they'd throw money at it.
Yeah, but if it was one about Lewis Hamilton, they would throw money at it. But we're talking about
Suppose how much
someone
Senna
who
won
was
it? What,
racing-
3 times? But he win it 3? Championship.
yeah, but we're talking about a driver who died 30 years ago the other week. So the majority of the people who watch Drive to Survive
Won't have a
probably
fucking clue who he is.
won't have a clue or weren't alive
Yeah, I mean,
or too young to remember it.
it might be quite good because there's obviously more to there's the incident, but then there's more to the story after. Like
Yeah.
the whole thing went on for years.
Yeah.
So in that book, honestly, you should either listen to it or read it. The talk about
For the listeners, what book is it?
the How to Build a Car by Adrian Newy.
Okay.
And he obviously talks about the time when Senna died because he was the designer of the car that he died in. And it was something like, because it happened in Italy, the Italian law applied, and regardless of whether someone dies like out of your control or not, you are still trialed for it. So even though like they had nothing to do with the car as such, Frank Williams, the other chap, I've forgotten his name, and Newy were all put up for trial in Italy, and there was never there could never come to a decision on it. So this thing just kept going on and on. It went on for about 10 years until the point where it became void because it had happened that long.
Yeah.
Was
So-
I can't remember, was there something wrong with the car? I thought it was his, like, he reacted, like he lost it and then he reacted
They
Was it a
blamed
so
wasn't
quickly
it a
that he
suspension act?
they blamed the steering column, and then I think Williams had disproved what had happened.
because
So-
like, Schumacher was pushing him, wasn't he? So like they were both like on the edge of that race kind of thing. So they were all like on
Well,
a knife edge for the
There was,
entire
a,
race.
there was an accident the day before where someone had died who Senna was good friends with.
Yeah, that was it. 'Cause he was doing the whole like we shouldn't be
Yeah.
racing. This isn't
That's
safe
right.
kind of
Yeah.
crack, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very much like the louder situation.
Yeah.
All right, so I just had to Google it there, and the court documents list the official cause of the crash as a steering column failure, but that never actually got
Proven.
proven. But that car itself had like all sorts wrong with it. Leading up to it with previous races, the back end kept going and stuff, and because of some aerodynamic thing,
Yeah.
and then that's why I think this is why Newy felt guilty about it, because he was like saying like, let's just persevere because we're going to get there, like we're just going to keep working on it and you'll be winning. And then obviously it thingy, but they'd found that the steering column had snapped, and then they were like, oh well, the column must have snapped and that's why he couldn't get round the bend, it's just gone into the wall. But they in the book they did something where they'd like put it under immense. They'd taken a column similar and put it under immense pressure, and they couldn't snap it. So it was like, well,
the crash was like he was turning as he went into
Yeah.
the wall, though, wasn't he?
yeah. But yeah, be interesting to see
Well,
what.
there's a lot. They can go into how he was basically like Brazil's savior as well. Like if they go into the man, because he had like a state funeral. Like it was like
Yeah, it
the
was a big
country got
deal.
shut down, wasn't it?
Yeah, they'll have all sorts, and then there's all that carry on, and he obviously did a lot more before Williams.
I want, as long as there's a scene of whoever it is going around in the loafers in the NXS. Remember that that video?
So good, that video.
Probably have the.
Heel and toe in a pair of fucking.
So good.
He had that intense rivalry with Prost as well, didn't he? So
Yeah.
there were all that carry on going on.
Yeah. Anyway, we went off on a bit of a tangent there.
We did.
What were we even talking about?
What were we even talking about?
We were just talking about general bits and bobs, and then we went on to the Senna stuff because it was Senna's anniversary, and that's how we got talking about that.
Monza. It's Monza. That's
and then
what we're on
yes,
about. It's Imola.
We've got
Imola.
We've got Imola coming up. So yeah, I suppose we can talk about this towards wrapping up the
Are we going
the
Imola?
episode. You are.
No, we're not
Going
going to
Imola.
Imola. No, we're not going to Imola.
Not going to
So,
Imola.
predictions for Imola.
Max wins, lol.
Max wins.
Of course he does.
I think we're going to get I'm going to put Carlos down.
Right, okay.
Why?
I just feel like Ferrari are going to show up this time.
The Tifosi
Because
are gonna.
yeah. I think I'm going to go Lando.
Yeah,
I
You
think I'm
think
going
these
to go
upgrades have
I
just.
think I'm going to go Lando. One, because it's different to
Max Winslow.
Max wins and Carlos winning.
mm.
I want Lando to
I
win.
want it to be a different driver to Max. Not because Max is dominant or anything like that. I just think it makes things more exciting. I like Imola as a track. It's got its ghosts, but I like it as a track.
What if? Sorry to butt in. What if we change our predictions a bit, and we predict like we have two lots. We have a winner, like an outright winner,
Yeah.
but we have a more realistic prediction, which is who's going to get P2. Because
No, I don't want that.
Max wins is always going to no. Don't
Nah,
worry.
Right,
I don't-
who's going to come
I don't
dead
want that.
last? There we
I
go.
don't-
Who's going to come dead last?
No. How
Sergeant.
about
Who's
we
not
do-
finishing?
How about we do surprise of the surprise of the day? So that could be a driver in a position. That could be someone getting into Q3 or whatever it is.
All right, I like that then.
Yuki
okay, so
Tsunoda's in the top 6.
yeah,
Oh, that's a good one.
that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Well,
Right,
he came,
so
was
my-
he
my win-
7th today? He came
Yeah.
7th.
So Sonoda in the top 6. That's
And it-
your pick for surprise of the
But
weekend.
who was your winner again?
What Max wins? lol.
Max wins. You go next then if you've got one.
So I went Lando to win. Williams to score points.
Yeah, I was actually going to go with something similar there. All right, okay. Ferrari, so Carlos to win, and both Hasses in the points.
Both Hasses.
Both
in-
Hasses in the
Yeah.
points.
Right, okay.
All right.
I think mine and yours are very much more far-fetched.
Yeah, well, I was going to actually say Albon in the points because he hasn't scored any yet.
The reason I think it's
But I don't
Williams
wanna-
in the points is because I'm kind of hoping for Sargent to just have that race.
Yeah.
I want him to have that race. I
If-
want him to get that point.
If we were doing 3, I'd say Sargent to out-quali Albon as
All
well.
right, okay.
I reckon.
Well, we could do a third if
Like-
we wanted to.
All right, okay.
What? Hang on. So we've got race winner. We've got surprise. What about disappointment of the weekend?
Okay.
Hamilton.
Hamilton, what?
Just fuck it.
Just Lewis Hamilton.
Like I think Mercedes are going to have another shocking quali, and he'll just fuck it and end up like 16th or something in quali.
Right, okay. So
Like-
yours is Mercedes have a nightmare.
Yeah, I think they're just going to fuck the setup.
Right. Jamie?
I think Danny Rick's going to be a disappointment again this weekend coming.
I mean, that might be the safest bet you've ever made.
Yeah.
Is that too easy?
I think that's
Lance Stroll hits the wall.
again. I think that's very.
Okay.
Do you want me to give mine?
You give yours.
Yeah, what's yours?
Checo DNF.
Oh! Oh!
Checo DNF.
Why are you playing with Jamie's emotions?
Dare you?
Checo DNF. Williams in the points. Lando wins. And the reason I say Checo DNF is because I don't think that Red Bull today was as dominant as what we've seen in previous weeks. A couple of weeks ago, we saw Max almost blow up.
You think the car's poorly?
We saw Max struggle with the car today, even though he hit that cone. And I do think that cone did contribute to such a massive gap.
There'll have been something wrong with the air.
So I actually think you're onto something here, but
and Checo also seemed to struggle today.
I don't think it's because the car's poorly, but this is why I agree with you, because like there's quite a lot of sharp bends in that in Imola, and especially if the weather's warm, like as hot as it is, they both seem to struggle when
it's super hot.
Under heat, when the tyres are under extreme heat.
So, disappointment of the weekend for you.
All right, I'm gonna say George Russell DNF.
Right. Okay. George Russell DNF.
No, I can't, because you've said Mercedes are going to have a shocker.
I didn't say they were going to not DNF though. I just said they're going to have a fucking job on. I think they're going to quali poorly, like Q3.
All right, I'll tell you what then. Charlie Leclerc is going to DNF.
Yeah, that's about right.
I think
it's pretty normal.
So Sainz to win and Charles to DNF.
Absolutely,
it's pretty normal, isn't it?
Oh, that would.
What if Charles is winning and then he DNFs
No,
when Carlos is second?
I think you can do Charles DNF, because if Charles DNFs, what was your surprise of the weekend?
Carlos to win.
Carlos to win. No, what was your?
No, it was Albon in the points.
Oh, both Haas in the points was
both Haas in the points and Carlos to win. If Carlos won the race and Charles DNF'd, that's an absolute kick in the dick to Ferrari, that isn't it?
Especially if all the other three power units, because Haas has the same power unit, doesn't it?
It does, but obviously like a scaled.
Yeah.
Not the same spec, but yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry,
and you,
Charles.
And you've gone Max to win, Mercedes to have a nightmare,
and Yuki to be in the top 6.
So, based on our predictions and our wants, if any of them came off, we're looking at an absolutely glorious race.
Oh yeah, it'd be a laugh, won't it?
It would be a proper laugh.
And we've
a great track.
And we have a Parmo after, if we get it.
We have a Parmo after.
If we get
which, for anybody that doesn't know, is chicken,
Google it,
breadcrumbs, and bechamel sauce with cheese on the top.
So
it's glorious.
Yep.
Are we about out of time?
We are. So we've got one more week before the race. No, calendar looks weird. The race is next weekend.
Right.
No, it isn't. It's the weekend after.
It's the weekend after, not the weekend coming.
Yep.
Right.
So yeah, next weekend. Next week. So we need to think of something to talk about.
So this weekend, there's no race?
There's no race this week.
No, but we shall be putting an episode out a week on Wednesday this week, which what the fuck?
We will post on Instagram.
So moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we will be uploading
He's going full in here with the format.
An episode at, I wrote it on the gram, Wednesdays PM on YouTube at around that. Wednesdays at 8 PM. We will be uploading the episode on YouTube. We might stream. That's what we're doing moving forward.
Right. Okay.
We might stream the episodes, but they will definitely be uploaded to YouTube.
I feel like this is the first time I'm hearing about this.
We agreed it last week.
Did we actually though? Because it was just kind of
we did.
Arguing.
We did, because I uploaded the Instagram. I updated the Instagram bio.
We agreed it in that intense discussion.
Right. So
Wednesdays,
Wednesdays,
8 p.m.
8 p.m.
New episodes of the Roundy Roundy.
New episodes of the Roundy Roundy every Wednesday.
Like, subscribe, bell button, sponsor us so we can get the jag.
So we can get the jag.
The jag.
Yeah, so for anyone that doesn't know, we're going to try and get
Jag.
to buy as much Jaguar as we can for £1,000.
So
That was the
To film content and travel places and
to ultimately try and go somewhere and ultimately break down 4 miles away from where we all live.
we're gonna
Because it's as much Jaguar for £1,000.
we're gonna break down 4 miles away from Spa and have to walk the rest.
I mean, I'd take that.
That's
but
the plan.
Like, you know, anywhere.
Okay.
Wednesdays, 8 p.m. every week.
Pointing at the camera. It's very aggressive.
Pointing at the camera. Like, subscribe, bell button. Sound.
Yeah, in a bit, Liz.
Laters.
Later.